Hi everyone, so today I'll be continuing with more examples on how to expand the product of two binomial factors. So let's get started with an example. Okay, so let's say we have 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. So these terms are almost identical except for the fact that we have a plus 3 here and a minus 3 here. Okay, so let's first use FOIL to expand this and see what we get. Okay, so let's start with first. Okay, so use each of the first terms of each factor. So that's 2x times 2x. 2 times 2 is 4 times x, which is x squared. Then get the outer terms, so outer, so that's 2x times negative 3, so outer. Okay, so that is 2x times negative 3, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, times x is negative 6x. Then we have inner, okay, inner. So that's 3 and 2x. So that is 3 times 2x. It's 3 times 2, which is 6 times x. And finally, we have last. Last is plus 3 and minus 3. Last, which is 3 times negative 3 here. And that's negative 9. Okay, now we have to add these up. So we get 4x squared minus 6x plus 6x minus 9. What do we have here? So we see that negative 6x plus 6x becomes 0. And we get 4x squared minus 9. So the middle term disappears. So in general, if you have a product of two binomial factors, and you have something of the sort ax plus b times ax minus b, where a and b are constants. So basically this a and this a are the same constant, and this b and this b is the same. And the only thing that's different is this change in sign here. Then this ax plus b times ax minus b is equal to the first term, so ax, first term of each factor, which is the same, so it's ax squared, and then the last term, the product of the last term, so that's b times negative b, which is negative b squared. Okay, and as you can see here, we had a was 2, so a squared was 4, and then times x squared, and then b was 3 times negative b, which was negative 3, so 3 times negative 3, which is negative 9. Okay, so let's do another example. Okay, so example. So we have 4x minus 5 times 4x plus 5. Okay, so once again we see that the signs are switched. So then all we do is, but all the terms are the same. It's just this switch in sign here. So we do 4x squared minus 5 squared. So negative 5 times 5 is negative 5 squared, because there's only one negative sign. So then the parentheses 4x squared is 4 squared, which is 16, times x squared, because it's in parentheses, for the 4. And then negative 5 squared is negative 25. So you notice that the negative sign is not in the parentheses, so this negative is not squared. So it remains negative. So this is the expanded form. Let me do another example. Let's say we have 2 minus x and 2 plus x. Okay, so now you see, instead of the x being in the front, we have the constant in the front, but and this sign switch is still here. So it's pretty much the same process. So we multiply the first terms, which is 2 squared, and then we multiply the last terms. We add the product of the last terms. So that's just plus negative x times x, and the product of negative x times x is negative x squared, and 2 squared is 4, so that's 4 minus x squared. Okay, and so hopefully this trick sort of helps you save a little bit of time when you're working out these calculations. Okay, and so that concludes this video on sort of the tricks behind expanding the product of two binomial factors when the factors are almost the same except for this one change in the sign.